Rainer, great seeing you again. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes here with us. Before we start, for those who haven't met you, can you tell us briefly who you are and what you do?
A pleasure. My name is Rainer Olt from the Central Bank of Estonia, heading the Payment and Settlement Systems Department.
Okay, that's great. So Estonia it's well known for being one of the most digital nations in the world. I'd love to understand, as your function as the Bank of Estonia, how have you contributed towards the development of innovation in payments in the country?
That's actually easy. We are facilitating a really good cooperation with the banking sector. You know, in the early days or in the 1990s, I would say that banks themselves were also the fintechs. Nowadays, you say that the banks are dinosaurs, and then we have the fintechs. But actually, the banks are doing lots of things, and we have created a kind of atmosphere when to facilitate that the banks are actually now doing again new things.
Right.
So that's the easiest thing is to just reach a common goal, objectives, and work out a plan, and that is how the things are done actually.
Okay, so the banks are catching up to the innovation that we've seen with the fintechs over the past years. How is the collaboration between new entrants in the market from a payments perspective and the banks? How is that evolving now?
I would say that the banking sector is really stable in Estonia. So we have only a handful of banks owning the relationship with all the customers in Estonia. And then there are actually those vendors for the banks facilitating kind of e-commerce payments. And I think there the collaboration that has played a key role for some years now. And I think that's how the banks are also now considering that the fintechs are not necessarily their competition. They are most likely their vendors, and then that's I think the concept there.
Yes, that's a great paradigm shift, right? Because at some point we saw this competition, and now we're converging into collaboration. All right, now help me understand. We talk to payment companies all the time, and then we keep hearing that we're only just scratching the surface when it comes to payments innovation. Now, from a central bank perspective, what does the payment landscape looks like in the next 2 to 3 years? What's your priority in the Bank of Estonia?
The priority, and I think that's common throughout the Euro system, is that we would have a kind of pan-European solution at point of interaction for payments between people and in e-commerce.
Yeah.
Today we have global card schemes, really solid, that's really good, but we need to have kind of additional rails for digital payments to increase resilience
right.
in case there are some events, either technical or attacks, cyber attacks, taking down the infrastructure, and to lose customer trust, it doesn't take too long.
Right.
So we need to have things to revert back to ensure that payments will continue even in times of kind of crisis or disruptions.
Yeah.
And there I see that in the coming few years, definitely, and in Estonia, I will see offline card payments at point of sales to make critical purchases. And I think that will be something really interesting to see, because we see already offline payments on aircraft when we fly, but to have them on land and to use the technology, because it's not offline payments as we used to make it in the past. Now we will have the limits on the chip. The offline terminals will be also capable of storing the transaction. The liability shift will go to the issuer bank because of the strong customer authentication with the PIN code. So it's I think that's the new thing, how to make also offline payments in the digital era.
Indeed. Okay, very interesting. Now, we're here at the Fintech Day in Lithuania. It's the third edition. You've just came out of stage from a full auditorium. What's your impression so far of what's happening here in the ecosystem in the Baltics?
I think here, indeed, Lithuania has rated something unique. The atmosphere here, it's great. I think in Estonia we are doing kind of the same things, but the scale here is a little bit different. And of course, one key aspect in Lithuania is that they have provided entrance point to the fintechs into the payment system as well by the central bank. So it's kind of a little bit of change, and then in the euro system we are a same euro system. So it is just good that if one central bank provides these kinds of services, it doesn't mean that in Estonia we should do the same. So this is just efficiency, and here I see that the fintechs also kind of enjoy this opportunity and make really the maximum out of it.
Okay, now, and just to close, Rainer, so for those who have not had the opportunity yet to experience what is cooking in the Baltics, because we see a tremendous amount of innovation coming out of Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia, what would you say so that they come and experience it for themselves? What is it that they're missing out on?
Yeah, that's a good question in a sense that maybe some things we consider already old might be considered by others really new. Maybe what others should learn about, and we were talking about this on the stage, we need to, in the digital era, we need to have good solutions to identify ourselves on the internet and to actually be able to sign contracts so that we are actually there. So these kinds of solutions in Estonia we have had those for the last 20 years. Now they are evolving. Maybe this is something that also other countries can really learn, and also the payment solutions, the banks' wallets. I think these are great, and of course now I see popping up similar solutions all around Europe, which is really good. So I think there are some things that other countries can learn about, but of course maybe one difference is that we are a small country, small community, small banking sector. It is relatively easy to come on a common agreement and then actually do things if it makes sense to the banks, it adds value to the customers. Sometimes, of course, if we are talking about resilience and continuity of payments in times of crisis, for instance, then we need kind of a push, because these kind of insurances do not necessarily mean revenues for the banks. Right. These are investments. It's like insurance. Yes. But the key objective is to ensure trust of customers in digital payments, and there I think we are doing all we can do.
Indeed. Well, a great reason for people to come and check out what's happening here in the Baltics. Rainer, thank you so much for stepping by, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.